To begin the NGC 3050 to 3099 series this evening, after having already done the 3000 to 3049. One of the studies in that series was NGC 3044. I am now attempting a 60-second exposure. We ended with a 30-second exposure previously in the previous tour. The galaxy is magnitude 11.9, a splinter of light, 4.7 by 0.7 arc minutes in size, which in fact practically a 7:1 aspect ratio. Spiral with a bar, lowercase c, so the core isn't well defined. 57 million light years distant, so possibly some 75,000 light years in diameter. RA is 95340 with a declination of 1 degree, 34 minutes and 44 seconds. We shall soon see our second stack, and then it will be run the magnification up, 105x, then 150, center it up, drop it back down, move the mouse cursor off the field so I can capture a frame and manipulate it later with my friend L. Marco. NGC 3050 is a visible galaxy towards the center of the screen in sextants. It's also NGC 2979, and the story behind this is somehow there was a bogus entry and then corrected later. Somebody just put a 1 hour earlier RA into the database, or the original observer did. This is magnitude 14, 1.5 by 1 arc minute, spiral with a lowercase a, well-defined core, 120 million light years distant, RA 94308 with a declination of minus 10, 2302. Okay, we saw this one in the earlier series. It's NGC 3051. It was also NGC 3046. Discovered twice, maybe by 2 separate observers, and then entered into the log because there were discrepancies in right ascension or declination. Magnitude 11.8, 2.1 by 1.9 arc minute. Spiral with a lenticular class and a bar, 112 million light years distant. So maybe something around 50,000 light years in diameter. Right ascension 953.58 with a declination of minus 27.1709. I'm going to move through these quickly because it is getting quite cold. We have a fairly clear sky tonight. Temperatures are dropping. NGC 3052 is quite present in the middle of the screen. It's a galaxy in Hydra, magnitude 12.2, 2.1 by 1.3 arc minute. Spiral with a bar, lowercase c, and would you guess it has a ring? It's at right ascension 954.28 with a declination of minus 18 degrees, 38 minutes, 21 seconds. I do believe the frontier is quite clear. NGC 3053 was also apparent on the 30X field. It's a galaxy in Leo, magnitude 12.7. 1.8 by 0.9 arc minutes, spiral with a bar, lowercase a, 168 million light years distant, probably over 110,000 light years in diameter, RA 955.33, declination plus 16, 25.57. We are getting close to hour 10 in the right ascension. NGC 3054 is a galaxy in a diffraction zone of a power line, lined up perfectly. Hydra, magnitude 11.8, 3.8 by 2.4 arc minutes. Spiral with a bar and a lowercase b. Look for that core, 102 million light years distant. RA 954.28 with a declination of minus 25, 42, and 10. Not bad down there, is it? NGC 3055 is quite present on the screen, maybe a little further towards the top, which is the east. Galaxy in sextants, magnitude 12.1. Yeah, I'm gonna make sure I get that 70% E zoom. 2.1 by 1.3 football-shaped spiral with a bar lowercase c, diffuse core, but it's present, 82 million light years distant, so roughly 55,000 light years in diameter. RA 95517, declination +4, 16, and 10. NGC 3056 is a galaxy, of course, in Antlia. Magnitude 11.7, 2.1 by 1.3 arc minutes, spiral with a bar, lenticular A, 40 million light years distant, so maybe 20,000 light years in diameter. RA is 954.32, declination getting pretty close, -28, 17.53. NGC 3058 is between two power lines here. Nice view though. It's a galaxy in Hydra, magnitude 15, 2.5 by 1 arc minute. It's probably not that larger one, it's the smaller one. Let's check it out. You have a 2.5 by 1. That's clearly going to be it, because it is a spiral with a lowercase c, 334 million light years distant, puts this at about 200,000 light years in diameter. RA 953.36, declination -12, 28.58. We should be seeing its neighbor shortly. Let's look for this one. NGC 3060 is a galaxy in Leo, and a sweetie it is. It's magnitude 13, 2.2 by 0.6 arc minute, spiral with lowercase b, 166 million light years distant, maybe 120K in diameter. RA 95619, declination +16, 49, at 52 seconds. And here's our 150x view of NGC 3060. NGC 3062 probably shouldn't be visible at 30x because it is, come on, in fact, galaxy in sextants, magnitude 14.7, small, 0.6 by 0.3, spiral with a lowercase b, 366 million light years distant means it's probably about 80,000 light years in diameter. I do believe we can make out the galaxy, however, but just not at 30x. It's at RA 956.35 with a declination of 1 degree, 25 minutes and 42 seconds north. Look for this one at 30x, NGC 3064. It is a galaxy in sextants, magnitude 14.5, 1.2 by 0.3 arc minute, 4:1 aspect ratio, spiral lowercase bc, 229 million light years distant, a fainty and a smallie. Right ascension 955.41 and a declination of -621.51. Given that aspect ratio, I would assume it's this one right here. Okay, Sirius is well past culmination, and slightly so is also further east Procyon. The sky looks very good. The temperature is very cold. We may have seen this galaxy before. No. This is NGC 3067, a galaxy in Leo, magnitude 12.1, 2.4 by 0.9 arc minute, spiral with a bar, lowercase ab, 66 million light years distant, so maybe 50K. Right ascension 958.21 with a declination of +32, 22.10. It probably warrants a little more magnification. And our view at 150x. Here we have an NGC 3068A, and you know what that means? Yeah, it has a neighbor. They were originally seen as a single 3068, or documented that way. 3668A's Galaxy Leo, magnitude 15.1, 0.9 by 0.8. Pretty bright. Lenticular spiral, so it's probably a magnitude 14 lenticular. Visually, 291 million light years distant, maybe 80,000 light years in diameter. RA 958.40 with a declination of +28, 52, 38. Let's see if B pops up. And right-o, without even going to it, NGC 3068b is a galaxy, also in Leo, magnitude 15, 6.3 by 0.3 arc-minute sized, elliptical, which means it's probably more along the lines of magnitude 14, but it looks very small. I'm going to do an experiment in a second to see if we do have a big leap. 278 million light years distance, so tiny. RA 95838 with a declination of plus 285216. I am going to press the recapture and let's see where it ends up. We're going to get some trails? No! So basically, our second galaxy there was, I'm going to push it all the way up, NGC 3068b. Although this one's further east, it should have been the A, but they maybe by the time they separate them out like that, they're brighter and fainter. NGC 3069 is this brightest galaxy, no doubt, in Leo. Magnitude 14.1, 0.8 by 0.4 arc minute. And you probably suspect that it is a lenticular, but it's a spiral with peculiarities. 245 million light years distance, so maybe 65K. Right ascension 957.56, declination plus 10, 25.56. And there may be some extensions here, so let's have a look. And it does have a neighbor. Let's frame them both. Okay, now we can disambiguate these two. NGC 3070 is a galaxy in Leo, brighter, magnitude 12.3. Further to the east and to the south, 1.5 by 1.5 arc minutes, elliptical galaxy, 244 million light years distant, RA 95806, declination plus 10, 21, 35. Let's push the heck out of the magnification on this pair just to have the experience. Then back them out once again to that best look at 105x. I don't know what's going to freeze first, my handsies or my toesies. We're looking for NGC 3071 Galaxy in Leo. Ooh, it's vague. I think something's vaguely visual. Oh, this is probably it here. Okay, good. Magnitude 14.3, 0.5 by 0.3 arc minute spiral with a bar of the lenticular class and a ring, which is why I'm going to go ahead and let it settle here. I don't expect the ring to show frontier to show itself because they're typically 4 magnitudes fainter, and we're 18.3 is beyond the limits of 5-second exposure times. Spiral with a bar, as I said, lenticular ring, 292 million light years distant, maybe 35,000 light years in diameter. RA 958.53, declination plus 31, 37.12. Maybe we'll get to hour 10 tonight. NGC 3072, are we seeing it? Yeah. Wow. Nice edge-on spiral. That is actually our study. Magnitude 12.7, 1.9 by 0.6. Oh, only a 3-to-1 aspect ratio. Looks sharper than that. Spiral with a lowercase a, 158 million light years distance, so probably somewhere around 100,000 light years in diameter. RA 957.23. Declination minus 19.21 and 18 seconds. 150x full photonage view, and there may be some other galaxies sharing the field. NGC 3074 is probably this galaxy here, although it was downshifted. But it's a galaxy in Leo Minor, which is further north. Magnitude 12.7, large, 2.3 by 2.1 arc minute. Not much of a core. This is a great study in a spiral with a lowercase c. It's got a core. It's distinguished, but it's faint. 235 million light years distant means this one's probably about 175,000 light years in diameter. Right ascension is 959.41, declination plus 35, 23.33. A little higher magnification, and then head. Okay, halfway through to NGC 3075, a galaxy in Leo. Magnitude 13.6, 1.2 by 0.8 arc minutes, spiral with a lowercase c, 161 million light years distance, so maybe 60,000 light years in diameter, RA 958.56, declination plus 14, 2507. NGC 3076 is a galaxy in Hydra, magnitude 13.1, 1 by 0.9, spiral with a lowercase ab, 160 million light years distant, so maybe 55,000 light years in diameter, RA 957.37, declination minus 18, 10 minutes and 43 seconds. NGC 3078 is quite visible directly in the middle of the field. It's a galaxy in Hydra, magnitude 11.1, 2.7 by 2.3 arc minutes, elliptical class 3, giant globular cluster, 114 million light years distance, so probably 100K in diameter, large for an elliptical, RA 958.24, declination minus 26.55.34. NGC 3080 is a galaxy, and it was visible in the 30X field. It has a neighbor. In Leo, magnitude 13.4, 0.9 by 0.8 arc minute, spiral with a lowercase a, at a distance of 469 million light years, maybe slightly smaller than SV31. RA 959.56, declination plus 13 degrees, 2 minutes and 36 seconds. NGC 3081 is visible in the field. Initially, it's a galaxy in Hydra, magnitude 12, 2.2 by 1.8 arc minute, spiral with a bar of lenticular A, so half removed from a purely mature spiral galaxy. It has a ring, 107 million light years distant, so it puts it right about 100,000 light years in diameter. Let's see if we can pick out that annularities frontier. We're at right ascension 959.29 with a declination of minus 22.49.33. Yes, I do believe we are getting hints of the annularity around NGC 3081. NGC 3083, and I'm not seeing any sign of that. How about you? Pushing it up. Now we're beginning to see something that may be galactic. Well, certainly one is galactic. 3083 is a galaxy in sextants, magnitude 13.7, 1.1 by 0.4 arc minute. Yeah, that is an Aegean. Spiral with a lowercase a, 285 million light years distant, maybe 75 to 80,000 light years in diameter. RA 959.49, declination minus 252.41, and with all Aegeanes, we like to push magnification up and center it and its neighbor in the field. Again, because we have a little bit of time, let's see if we can make this one out. I do believe we can. Let's check it out. Okay, it's one of two Aegean spirals because I happen to have the data with me. So let's go back to 105. It's a galaxy in sextants, magnitude 13.9, 1.2 by 0.4 arc minute, spiral with a lowercase b. All right, one has a brighter core than the other. Let's see if we can work this out. 300 million light years distant puts it about 100,000 light years in diameter. RA is right, spot on, 10 hours, no minutes, but only 10 seconds. Declination is minus 258.35. I don't know that I can distinguish these two galaxies out. I mean, it's a lowercase b. I would tend to think that's the B. That could be Anyway, this is a learning experience. Check it out with adventuresindeepspace.com. Steve Gottlieb has the answer, hopefully. NGC 3088. I see something there. Let's see if that's our baby. Oh, yeah. Not only is it a bright galaxy, but it has a neighbor. Now, this can't be correct. NGC 3088A is a galaxy in Leo, but its magnitude 14.7, 0.5 by 0.3 arc minutes. Now, it's a lenticular spiral, so it could be a 13.7, and yes, we would be able to see a galaxy of magnitude 13.7, especially a small one at 30x as a bright, fuzzy star. It's 314 million light years distant, which means it's probably somewhere around 50K in diameter. Its right ascension is 10 hours, 1 minute, 8 seconds, with a declination of plus 22, 24, 20. Now, when I go to next for B, I'll tell you what the data says. It says this NGC 3088b is a galaxy in Leo. You'd expect so. Magnitude 15.4. It's 0.5 by 0.1 arc minute. Yeah, that's a 5-to-1 aspect ratio edgy on galaxy. So let's push the magnification up a little bit. It's a spiral with a lowercase bc. Yes, a more diminished core in terms of brightness. 330 million light years distant means this one is probably somewhere around 50K light years in diameter. RA is 100110, so a little bit further east with a declination of plus 22, 2403. Now, since the A was 10-0 with a change, this is about 1 arc minute. The core is about 1 arc minute more distant from 3088b to A. So that's a nice little study. Let's back out to make sure we are operating at 70% so we can see that this is roughly 1 arc minute distance wise. There we go, NGC 3088A and B, galaxies in Leo. NGC 3089 may be visible in the field. Galaxies in Antlia, magnitude 12.4, 1.8 by 1 arc minute, spiral with a bar, lowercase b, annularity 112 million light years distant. Puts that at about, I would say, 75,000 light years in diameter. RA is 959.36. We've lost a little ground. Declination is minus 28, 1951. That's not our best shot view of it, however. So that's our galaxy, NGC 3089. Let's see if it's going to have a neighbor right next to it. Hold on. Nope, off and running. NGC 3090 is a galaxy in sextants, magnitude 12.6. It must be the one further up towards the east. It's 12.6, 1.7 by 1.4 arc minute elliptical, 276 million light years distant. So that's going to be about 100K in diameter. RA is 10 hours, 30 seconds with a declination of minus 2, 5809. Once again, NGC 3094, Galaxy Leo, 12.3, 2 by 1.4, spiraled bar A, 107 million light years, 1001.25, declination plus 1546.12. NGC 3096, quite visible, Galaxy in Hydra, magnitude 13.4, although this one looks kind of bright. for that far south. 1 by 0.8, spiral of the bar, lenticular, 185 million light years distant. RA 10 hours 33 seconds, declination minus 1939.44. NGC 3098 looks like it's a pretty sharp, beautiful edge-on galaxy. Ran it right up. 3098 Galaxy Leo, magnitude 12, 2.2 by 0.6 arc minutes, spiral with a lowercase a. 68 million light years distant, RA 100216 with a declination of plus 24, 42, 39. Let's back it off to that 70, 105x view. I'm going to check and see if we've got a 99. And yes, we do. It's in Leo Minor. Let's go have a look at it. Maybe we'll have an opportunity without me freezing to have a view once again of another study as we exit out on the evening. NGC 3099, the final study in the NGC 3050 to 3099 series, is a faint galaxy, probably this one here because we're farther north, in Leo Minor, magnitude 15.4, 0.6 by 0.5 arc minutes, an elliptical galaxy, so maybe magnitude 14, but it looks kind of faint. 670 million light years distant. Right ascension 100236 with a declination of plus 32, 42, 24. By the way, I did some research on the most distant winter galaxies, and it was about 670 million light years out, but I don't really believe that AI gives good data. And there's so much variation in data available online. But anyway, I quoted it in a music that I did today that will be released in the next couple of days. So there is our last view of the evening. We're 28 minutes in. Let's go and have a look at NGC 2903 so we can bid goodbye to it as the feature study on our exits. Well, here's our initial view at 30, pressing it up to a 150x view, backing back down to the best view possible. And with that, I am going to say right now this NGC 2903 is about to head west. This may be our last view, the last Carpe Noctem view until next year. Anyway, NGC 2903, one of my favorite galaxies in Leo's Lion's Mane, Carpe